This is Angela Cavallo. At 63, her life was a quiet rhythm of morning walks and simple joys. Her days were marked by the soft wrinkles on her face and the gentle ache in her knees, a constant reminder of a body that had seen many years. Life was peaceful, predictable. Her greatest happiness was found in moments spent with her young grandson, Tony. His laughter was the soundtrack to her later years, their bond a precious gift. But one ordinary afternoon, the familiar calm was shattered. It happened in an instant. A routine moment on their driveway turned into a scene of pure terror. The family car, which her son was working on, suddenly slipped off its jacks. It tilted, teetered, and crashed down. Right where Tony had been playing, Angela's world stopped. She saw her grandson pinned beneath the weight of the vehicle, his small body trapped. The air was filled with a chilling silence, broken only by the frantic beat of her own heart. For a split second, she was frozen, her mind screaming in a silent panic. Fear, sharp and cold, gripped her. This was it. This was the nightmare every grandparent dreads. But then something shifted. As she looked at her trapped grandson, the fear didn't paralyze her. It ignited something else. A primal, unstoppable force. There was no time to think, no time to wait for help. There was only one thought, one singular, burning purpose. Save him. What happened next defies belief. This 63-year-old grandmother, a woman who often struggled just to get out of a chair, ran to the car. With a guttural roar that seemed to come from the very core of her being, she grabbed the fender. She lifted. For what felt like an eternity but was likely only seconds, Angela Cavallo held up a 3,500-pound Chevrolet Impala. She held it just high enough, just long enough, for a neighbor to rush in and pull Tony out from under the chassis. And then she collapsed. The aftermath was a blur of flashing lights and sirens. Tony was miraculously alive, shaken but safe. Angela was hailed as a hero. The story exploded. News crews camped outside her house. Journalists clamored for interviews. Everyone wanted to know, how did she do it? How did a grandmother find the superhuman strength to lift a car? They called it hysterical strength, a rare phenomenon where, in a moment of life or death crisis, the human body unleashes its absolute physical limits. Adrenaline floods the system, pain is ignored, and for a brief, brilliant moment, the impossible becomes possible. Stories like Angela's have been documented, though they are incredibly rare. Like the tale of a mother who lifted a tractor off her son, or a man who single-handedly moved a boulder to free a trapped hiker. Scientists believe our brains have limiters that prevent us from using our full muscular potential, to protect us from tearing our own muscles and tendons. But in these extreme moments of crisis, those limiters can be bypassed. The brain screams, "This is a matter of survival," and unleashes everything you have. Angela became a symbol of a grandmother's love, a testament to the hidden power within all of us. She gave interviews, her face etched with a quiet gravity. She explained simply, "I just saw my grandson and I had to get him out." But behind the headlines and the heroic narrative, a different story was unfolding. The heroic act came at a tremendous cost. In lifting the car, Angela had torn muscles and damaged tendons throughout her body. The aches and pains she had before were nothing compared to the chronic, debilitating pain she now lived with. The very strength that saved her grandson had, in a way, broken her. The interviews faded. The news cycle moved on. And Angela was left alone with the consequences. Her life was no longer about peaceful morning walks. It was a daily battle with pain, a constant reminder of that one desperate moment. Sadness and a strange sense of regret began to cloud her days. She had saved Tony, and for that she would be forever grateful. But she had sacrificed her own physical well-being in the process. Was she still a hero if she now felt so broken? If she sometimes wished it had never happened? These were the questions that haunted her in the quiet of the night. She would sit alone, reflecting on a life that was now divided into two parts, before the accident and after. She had experienced something extraordinary, a moment of raw, primal power that few will ever know. But it left her isolated, living with a pain that no one else could truly understand. The world saw a hero, but she saw a woman who had traded her own comfort for the life of a child she loved more than anything. Years passed. The physical pain never fully went away, but something else began to emerge from the wreckage. Through her long, quiet reflections, Angela found a different kind of strength. It wasn't the explosive, physical power of that day, but a quiet, resilient wisdom. She came to understand that true strength isn't just about a single act of heroism. It's about enduring the aftermath. It's about finding peace in the sacrifice. It's about accepting the complex, messy reality of what it means to love someone so fiercely that you would break yourself to save them. Angela's story is not just about lifting a car. It's a profound lesson about the nature of love, sacrifice, and the hidden costs of heroism. It reminds us that the most powerful force on this earth isn't in our muscles, but in our hearts. And that sometimes the greatest acts of love leave the deepest scars. Her story challenges us to look beyond the sensational headlines and see the human being left behind. A person defined not just by one impossible moment, but by the quiet strength it took to live with its consequences, day after day. Thank you for joining me for this story. If it touched your heart, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that inspires.